Discipline, detention, and dignity. How behavior rules changed in schools worldwide. How schools shifted from strict control to more restorative approaches. In many school systems, discipline once focused on maintaining order through strict rules. Students were expected to follow instructions without question. Consequences for breaking rules were immediate. Detention, suspension, and public reprimands were common methods used to enforce behavior. The goal was clear: maintain control and prevent disruption. This approach created structured environments. Strict discipline systems were often seen as effective because they created consistency. Teachers could manage large groups of students with clear rules and predictable consequences. This approach reduced uncertainty and made it easier to maintain order. It reflected broader societal values. Schools operated as extensions of those expectations, emphasizing authority and obedience. Over time, educators began to question whether punishment alone was effective. While it could stop certain behaviors in the short term, it did not always address underlying causes. Students who faced repeated punishment often did not show long-term improvement. Strict discipline created distance between students and teachers, raising concerns about learning. These systems supported learning or simply enforced compliance. Research in psychology and education introduced new ways of thinking about behavior. Instead of focusing only on rules, educators began to consider the reasons behind actions. Factors such as stress, environment, and emotional development became part of the discussion. This shift encouraged schools to look beyond immediate behavior and consider broader context. Restorative practices emerged as an alternative to purely punitive systems. These approaches focus on repairing harm rather than only assigning consequences. Students are encouraged to understand the impact of their actions and take responsibility. This may involve discussions, mediation, or community-based solutions. The goal is to rebuild relationships rather than simply enforce rules. Modern approaches to discipline often recognize that students respond differently to the same situation. Schools began to move away from one-size-fits-all consequences. Instead, they consider individual circumstances and needs. This allows for more flexible responses that aim to support both behavior and development. It reflects a broader shift toward personalized education. As discipline systems evolved, schools faced the challenge of maintaining authority while promoting respect. Too much flexibility can create inconsistency, while too much control can reduce trust. Effective systems aim to balance these elements. Clear expectations remain important, but they are combined with approaches that encourage understanding and communication. Different countries have adopted these changes in different ways. Some systems continue to emphasize structure and authority, while others focus more on student well-being. Cultural values play a significant role in shaping how discipline is applied. Despite these differences, many systems are moving toward approaches that consider both behavior and development. For students, these changes affect how discipline is experienced. Instead of only receiving consequences, students may be asked to reflect, discuss, and take part in resolving situations. This can create a more active role in the process. It also changes the relationship between students and educators, making it more collaborative in some contexts. The evolution of discipline in schools reflects broader changes in how behavior is understood. From strict control to more restorative approaches, systems have shifted to include both structure and understanding. While no single model is perfect, the goal remains the same: creating environments where students can learn, grow, and be held accountable in ways that support long-term development.